Chinoza's life followed the same rhythm every day. She woke at dawn, helped her mother fetch water, then carried baskets of groundnuts to her stall at the market. By midday the sun scorched the red earth, and by evening the market's noise gave way to the smell of roasted corn and the sound of children chasing each other home. Her dreams stretched beyond the market, but she kept them hidden. It was easier to stay safe within routine than to risk disappointment. Then came Emeka. He arrived with a wooden cart full of books, parking near the mango seller's store. At first, the traders laughed. Who would buy books when people needed gari and oil? But Emeka's way of speaking drew people in. He would read a line of poetry aloud, his voice deep and certain, until even the children gathered around him. Chinoza pretended not to notice, yet she found her eyes strained to his cart. Books were foreign to her world, and so was the young man who sold them. One evening, as the market was closing, Emeka handed her a small book. "You always pass by like someone carrying hidden stories," he said. Chinoza's face burned. She wanted to toss the book back, but instead, she slipped it into her basket. The next day, the whispers started. Have you not heard? That Emeka is running from something," one fish seller told her. "He left Lagos suddenly. They say he was engaged to a rich man's daughter but broke it off. His kind cannot be trusted." The words pierced deeper than she expected. Chinoza scolded herself for caring, yet that night, she couldn't stop thinking of his smile, or of the secret he might be hiding. As weeks passed, Emeka didn't stay away. He helped her cover her groundnuts during sudden rainstorms, carried heavy baskets without being asked, and once sat with her mother when she sprained her ankle. Slowly, Chinoza began to talk with him. He listened in a way no one else did, about her father's death, about her wish to one day open her own shop. But the whispers never stopped. "A man who ran from marriage will run again," the market woman said. At home, her mother warned her gently, "Eneni, careful. Not every man who looks kind will stay kind." The doubt pressed hard. Chinoza had begun to hope, but was she just another stop on his journey, a distraction before he moved on? One evening, beneath the old baobab tree at the market's edge, Emeka waited. In the fading light, his voice carried a weight she hadn't heard before. "I need to tell you the truth," he began. "In Lagos, I was engaged. Not by choice, but by family arrangement. They wanted me to marry into wealth, but my heart was never there. When I refused, they called me a coward, a failure. I left, not just them, but the shame, the noise. I've been running ever since." Chinoza's chest tightened. The rumors were true. Her fears weren't foolish. "So what happens when you grow restless again?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Will you run from me too?" Emeka stepped closer, his eyes steady. "I don't want to run anymore. I came here with only books, thinking I would sell and keep moving. But meeting you made me want to stay, to build. Chinoza, I am not promising perfection. Only that this time, I choose with my heart. And my heart is here." The baobab leaves rustled in the evening wind, as if the earth itself was holding its breath. Chinoza felt the weight of his words, the risk they carried. Love wasn't safe, it could wound, betray, disappoint. But looking at Emeka, she also saw courage. Not the courage of a man without scars, but of one daring to begin again. She didn't rush into his arms. Instead, she reached for the book he had placed at her feet. "If you mean it," she whispered, "then stay long enough for me to believe you." Emeka nodded, relief softening his features. And beneath the baobab sky, what began as unease slowly unfolded into something fragile yet real, the first hesitant steps of a love worth fighting for.